Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Boys and Girls Club of East Scarborough's annual general meeting. I'd like to introduce to you Ucha Sawyers, our Executive Director.
Thank you so much, Robin. I want to say welcome to all of you for taking the time out of your busy evenings to join us on this special, hopefully our first and last virtual AGM. We're so excited to share everything that happened with the club over the year of 2019. Everything that we've been facing as a global community has been it's a huge challenge, locally, but we have a phenomenal team and great support network that has been really moving to make sure that we're able to still share these wonderful highlights and opportunities to connect, especially to share what we've been doing, and have a great reflect on the 2019 year. I want to thank our committee that's put this wonderful virtual event together. Robin Lister and Ashley Abdul, who played a leading role to coordinate all of the pieces and the experiences that you're going to have today. As you know, those of you who have been our longtime members and participants at our AGM in the past, it's usually a fed of food and dance and laughter and sharing and all of these different things. And we're doing our best today to bring as much of that imagery to you today. So please feel free to eat your dinner, have your snack as you're participating and watching, because for us that's very much a part of how we do it here at Esbgc. So without further ado, I want to welcome Jessica Wilson, and she is one of our board members. She's our new, will be joining the executive this year in a secretary role with our executive. Jessica, I'd like to introduce Jessica to do the land acknowledgement on behalf of the organization.
Thank you, Ucha. It's so nice to be here. I would like to start by honoring the land that we are on, which has been the site of human activities since time immemorial. It is the traditional territories of the Huron-Wendat, the Anishinaabeg, the Chippewa, the Haudenosaunee Confederacy, and most recently, the Mississaugas of the Credit River First Nations. Ontario is covered by 46 treaties and other agreements, and is home to many Indigenous nations across Turtle Island, including the Inuit and the Métis. These treaties and other agreements, including the One Dish with One Spoon Wampum Belt Covenant, are agreements to peacefully share and care for the land and its resources. Other Indigenous nations, Europeans, and newcomers were invited into this covenant in the spirit of respect, peace, and friendship. We are mindful of broken covenants, and we strive to make this right with the land and with each other. We are all treaty people. Many of us have come here as settlers, immigrants, newcomers in this generation or generations past. I would like to also acknowledge those of us who came here forcibly, particularly as a result of the transatlantic slave trade. Therefore, I honor and pay tribute to the ancestors of African origin and descent. And now I'd like to introduce Chujor Chujor, our board president.
Thank you so much, Jessica, for that powerful and impactful land and African ancestral acknowledgement. And I'd like to also take this moment to ask everyone to please rise for the singing of the national anthem.
Thank you so much for participating in acknowledging the national anthem with us. I really want to thank the children from our licensed childcare departments and programs for their performance. It was well done. Good job. We we had a bit of technical difficulties at the first part, but we know you all know the English version. It was great to hear the French. We don't always get to hear it, those of us who aren't in school every day. And without further ado, I want to introduce Chujor, our president of the club's board, to call the AGM to order officially.
Hello, everyone. I'd like to take this opportunity to call the 2019 Annual General Meeting of the Boys and Girls Club of East Scarborough to order. And I'll start off by explaining the voting procedure. Now, there's going to be several opportunities for members to vote on the business being presented this evening. When prompted on the screen by the presenter, please vote either yes to accept the business presented or no to decline the business presented. And now, I'd like to go ahead and present the annual report.
Next slide. Thank you. So in 2019, the club served over 1,000 youth, and over 1,000 youth participated in programs in 2019. Chudor, if you want to go over the stats for the next one. Can't hear you.
Oh, this new Zoom reality.
Yeah.
2,122 adults participated in club services and events in 2019, which is an amazing number.
Which is great. So just to add a bit more context to that, we at the club, we like to take pride in the fact that we serve what we call youth of all ages. We have yoga programs at least 3 to 4 days a week. Last year in 2019, we also had programs for seniors through New Horizons opportunities that allowed us to engage with seniors in the local community around becoming more internet savvy and social media savvy, using our computer lab as a space where seniors can learn how to navigate different social media platforms, which who would have known would have come into handy for what we're facing now with COVID. So we're glad that we were able to support many of the seniors locally to become social media savvy in 2019. And we've got a lot of feedback this year on how that impacted them.
And also, as you see here, 255 volunteers and 26 student interns supported club programs and services in 2019.
And this doesn't speak to, the number of corporate volunteers that we had. We had so many different corporations that came through, 255 people giving their time, their hours. Many of them are repeat volunteers here with the club. They've been with us for many years. Some are new. The students, we're pleased to say that some of our students have been able to find employment with the club following their internship. So it's always a wonderful space and opportunity for us to engage in community through volunteerism. Yeah.
That the 2019 annual report of the Boys and Girls Club of East Scarborough be accepted. Please use the voting poll on your screen to vote yes to accept or no to decline. The poll should be open for about a minute.
So are we good to go, Robin?
I think so. We're probably just tabulating the last couple of votes, and Ashley will flash them on the screen in just a moment. But she's indicated that people are still voting, so
Okay,
we want to make sure everybody has that opportunity.
for sure. And while we're waiting, I want to share that we will be printing the annual report as we do every year for those of you who come out and get your annual report to take home, and it'll include all of the financial pieces as well as donor pieces. We're doing them step by step because of this virtual platform, but we definitely will be printing it, and we'll share something that goes through. So we have.
So we've closed the voting, and we have 100% in favor of approving the annual report of 2019. And at this point, we will introduce Hamid Rizvi, who is our board treasurer, to present the financial statement.
Perfect, thank you. So I had the privilege of presenting the most exciting part, the financials that everyone looks forward to. This organization has always had a strong financial profile, and I'm happy to say that we continue to deliver on the same in 2019. A big part of that is due to the tremendous and generous support of our donors, whose names that you're seeing on screen right now. We're very grateful for all the support that we receive from individual donors to small and medium businesses, large for-profit and non-profit organizations, and the several government entities that continue to support us. So a big thank you to all. So with that said, I'll move to the financials themselves. We had a strong year that allowed us to continue to serve and deliver to the community of East Scarborough. In 2019, we expanded our licensed daycare in 8 locations. That serves about 800 children in total. We continue to operate our 14 after-school sites that support about 630 children. And in 2019, we also made some significant investments, including a commercial kitchen, an infant room, while also increasing the amount of full-time jobs in the community. Our total revenue, or the funds coming in, were about 6.4 million, the majority of which was fees and grants that we received from the government and various governmental entities. We spent about 6.2 million serving the community, leaving us with a surplus of 144,000 for the year of 2019. Going forward, we continue to act from a position of strength to serve the population of East Scarborough. This has allowed us to continue to invest in 2020, including a new property that we're very excited to talk about in the coming weeks or months. And this strength has also allowed us to continue serving the people through the challenging COVID times, and positions us well to continue to do that in the days and weeks ahead. So with that said, I move that the 2019 financial statement of the Boys and Girls Club of East Scarborough be accepted. Please use the voting poll on your screen to vote yes to accept or no to decline, and the voting poll will be open for another minute.
Okay, and again, we have 100% in favor of accepting the financial statement. Thank you very much, everybody. And Ashley's going to bring that down off the screen. And we'll go back to Hamid, who is going to talk about the auditors that we will appoint for this fiscal year.
Yeah, sure. So I move that the auditor firm of Arnini Stiletto be appointed as the auditors for the Boys and Girls Club of East Scarborough for the 2020 fiscal year. Please use the voting poll on your screen to vote yes to accept or no to decline, and the voting poll will again be open for a minute or less.
So again, we have 100% in favor of appointing Arnini Stellato as our auditors for the upcoming fiscal year. And now we'll bring that down off the screen and we'll ask Ucha to come back and talk to us about our revision of bylaws.
Thank you so much. And thank you, Hamid, for that wonderful presentation. So in 2017, at 2017 AGM, the new revised bylaws were voted in to be enacted in 2018. We did, and some of you may recall, this is actually celebrating my third year here as the executive director in this executive director role. One of the things that I was able to navigate was a bit of a revision to the 2017, the new bylaws that were brought in to be put into action as of I believe it was January 2019. We put a halt, so at the last AGM, to do some minor revisions so that the board would remain open. At the 2017, the motion was to transition into a closed board. There you are. Transition into a closed board. Upon doing some research, discussing with some of our funders, the impact, it was decided unanimously by the board at our 2019 AGM 2019, looking at 2018, that we would revise and add some new bylaws that we had put into place in 2018. So this 2018 bylaw has already been accepted and motioned to be put in action. The 3 amendments to the bylaws are that the board will remain open, so we will continue with a voting process. So for those of you who may not be aware, a closed board means that the board votes on all of the business at the AGM and so on and so forth. An open board means that we continue this community process by which we invite the community in as our members to vote on the various different business items. And so the board will remain open to community. That's Amendment 1. We also, in November 2018, the board voted to put into our bylaws that there must be BIPOC representation on the board. So a minimum of 3 seats. So that's for Indigenous, Black, and other racialized community members. So ensuring that they are represented on the board at all times. We have embedded that into our bylaws. And we also added, our bylaws had not been amended before 2017 since 1996. So we embedded the option that we can add digital platforms to share information for the board purposes. So instead of printing an environmental package that goes out and we read it we go through it at the board meetings, and then we, keep it in our respective drawers, ends up in our fireplaces for some people. We've now developed an online cloud where we hold all of our board documents. It's also, it heightens our security. When somebody leaves the board, we're able to remove them from accessing any of those documents, and they stay secure within the organization. And that's part of our risk, one of our risk safety pieces. So those three items are what we're motioning today to be accepted and embedded in the 2017 amended and approved bylaws. So I'll put the motion out to be approved. There we go. And while we're waiting, just want to welcome our Vice President, who is appearing as Hamid Rizvi, but really is the wonderful Ganesh Navaratnaraja. Nice to see you.
Great to see you, everyone. This is such a wonderful event, and you know, my heart goes out the fact that we're all virtual, but you know, the entire team, Councillor Ainsley, just such a pleasure and an honor to have everybody and all this great energy here together.
Thanks for joining us. Also want to give a shout out to our other board members who are here, but in attendee mode because of the platform. So thank you all for your wonderful dedication and hard work and commitment to the work that we do here at Boys and Girls Club of East Scarborough. Alrighty.
So again, we have 100% in favor of accepting the revised bylaws as presented. So we will move back to Ucha so that she can present the slate of officers for this year.
Fantastic. So I'll just wait for the slide to come up. And so, as I mentioned, our phenomenal board, we have a wonderful board, great synergy, great combination of professionals and people with expertise from all different walks of life. A lot of, you know, we've been really blessed to have folks who either, you know, we have a couple folks that live within, professionals that live locally within the community, some who have lived here, grew up, you know, in this part of Scarborough, like myself, and now, you know, may reside elsewhere, but are committed to seeing the development and paying it forward to all of the families, children, and youth that we work with. So I want to say a huge thanks to our board of directors that really has been a great support to me as the executive director, and supporting, you know, the vision and the mission and the goals that we have put into place over, you know, our strategic plan, you know, for youth services and all of our different endeavors that you've heard about and you'll hear about following, you know, throughout this presentation. So without further ado, our slate of officers for the 2020-2021 board, Chujor, who is our president, Ganesh Navaratnaraja, who is going to stay on as our vice president, Shernette McLeod, who is our second vice president, so her term is going to be extended. She's completed 3 years with the board and she's going to be extended for 2 years. She'll be staying on for the full 5. Hamid Rizvi, who's been an amazing treasurer. Jessica Wilson, who is now assuming the secretary role as of the AGM. I want to say a special thank you to Kamisha Cox, who has been our secretary to this point. Yvonne Brown as a general board member, Richard Nicholson, Amanda Valentina Shermoon, Victoria Yuba, and Kamisha again. These are our phenomenal board members. They show up for us all the time. I want to say thank you to all of them, and I motion that we adopt this board moving into 2020-2021.
So Ucha, just while we're waiting for the end of the voting cycle for this. I also wanted to mention the names of the other committee members that were instrumental in pulling together the annual general meeting and all the pieces that you're going to see this evening. So you had already mentioned Ashley Abdul, who is at our controls at the moment, but also Lori McGivern, Keisha Smith, Jonathan Mitchell, Chantel Rayside, and Lucy Landry, and they've been an amazing team to work with. I have learned an immense amount about technology, and for those of you that kind of know me, you know that I'm a little bit of a technophobe, so I'm very excited for the learning that I've had from all of them. Thank you very much.
Thanks, everyone. There are some folks who, regardless of being on the committee or not, that always show up. So I just want to say a special shout out to Howard Moria and Trishelle Primo, who's downstairs waiting for any ball to catch. So thanks to the both of them as well. Thanks to the entire team.
Okay, and once again, we have 100% yes in accepting the slate of officers for the board of directors. We will now go back to Chujor to close the business for the evening.
All right, everyone, I'm going to take this moment to close the business section of our 2019 AGM and progress to some more exciting and fun stuff. So I'll take this chance also to reintroduce our amazing executive director, Ucha, to explore some of the great club events of last year.
Okay, so the official close time, Robin, do you want to mention that just so that, or you're taking?
I've got the minutes, and the official close time of the business portion is 7:34.
Fantastic. So this is sigh of relief time. We got through the business. And last year was a phenomenal year. Every year that I've personally been here, the years that I've, even before my time, it seems like this club every year just keeps building on the shoulders of the work that has happened the year before. And there's been no change in 2019, and of course, into this year as well. Very, very excited last year that we embarked on a unique opportunity and started a new initiative here so that we can create global citizenship for local youth from the KGO. And one of this initiative is called the Be Boundless. I want to thank our stewardship and sustainability team that really took the ball and ran with the fundraising initiatives to create space and opportunity for 18 people from our local community to Ghana, Benin, and Togo, which was, just a phenomenal experience and opportunity. It was such a life-changing experience for all of us. We got to, as a staff team that was leading, the youth who participated really got to yoke together and almost use this opportunity as a team building exercise. 3 weeks, you get really close. So we spent just under 3 weeks from the time that we hit the ground in Accra. We headed straight to the Volta region. We spent 2 days there. We never slept the same place more than 2 nights, except for Benin, where we spent about 4 days at the Songhai Sustainability Center, which really was a groundbreaking experience for our team. We came back and really reflected on how we could take the learnings of what we learned. So Songhai is a self-sustained community on 25 acres. This is a community that's feeding a region of Port Novo, Benin, through sustainability endeavors. So they have a micro, fish pond. They have micro greenhouse growing operations. They recycle everything that you could think of. It's recycled. So the plates that you use, the tissues you use, the bones after you finish your meal go into the pond to feed, feed the fish. It was just such a phenomenal experience. And we really came back grappling with how we can start to animate some of those opportunities here. And some of, how that's coming into fruition is we've recently been funded through the Climate Action Fund to do some pollinator gardens and container gardens for the tower communities in KGO in 2020. And all of that is a direct results of the inspiration that we had on this trip. So without further ado, I'm going to give space for Ashley to share some of the video clip that was put together, so that you could get a bit of the images. I mean, nothing could really beat the real thing, but you can get a bit of a visual, an idea of what our experience there.
Hey, my name is Clee Sawyers, and I was one of the youth who went on the Be Boundless experience with the East Scarborough Boys and Girls Club.
Hi everyone, my name is Maria Sitti, and I've been a member of the East Scarborough Boys and Girls Club for about 6 years now.
Hi guys, my name is Kashifa Nadman, and I was a part of the Be Boundless trip to Ghana.
The media taught me to believe that Ghana was rich in poverty. However, that couldn't be further from the truth. Rather, it was rich in vibrant culture and hospitality. So the first activity that we went to was an installment ceremony of, I believe, a king there. And so when we got there, I didn't really know what to expect. And we were greeted by, I would say, over 100 locals. And they were all singing what seemed to be traditional and cultural songs while they walked through the trail.
Wish I could go back there. The air was so different, first off. Like, it felt so much more fresh. It felt like, I don't know, it felt less polluted, and it felt so much more greener. That has no, oh my god, that has no stop.
It's a suspension bridge.
What if I
You're not gonna fall.
We continued our hike up, and I felt like my heart started racing because I knew we were getting closer and closer. Good with heights, like I'm just afraid to fall. And so this experience was once in a lifetime for me. Like, I would actually have the chance of doing something that I'm not comfortable with. Great things never come from comfort zones.
The experience is, I've said it so many times and I'll say it again, it is impossible to put into words. It was so enlightening, and it really opened my eyes up to a different part of the world that I never really thought I'd be open to. You got to see things from a less biased, less biased opinion of the way things actually are. Such a welcoming environment down there, and it's not something that you really get in the West. People are a lot more reserved back here, but down there they're a lot more welcoming. And just being able to walk in literally the footsteps of my ancestors. For example, when we were going to the Slave River, just having that experience where my shoes are off and I'm walking barefoot in the literal footsteps of my ancestors. It's an experience that you really can't put into words how meaningful that is. And I'm just so glad I was able to do it. Just kind of that I grew that connection with something I wasn't a part of before. You still won't get the magnitude of how great it was. You need to go back there on your own to experience it for yourself. And I've been told that in the past too, and I didn't believe it until I actually did it myself.
Ghana gave me the chance to truly dive deeper into who I am as a person. It changed my perceptions on the world as a whole, just seeing how different Ghana was and how different they live from us. And it truly encouraged me to step outside of my comfort zone and face my fears head on.
This trip truly taught me that, if I want to experience new things, I do have to step outside of my comfort zone. And I think that me doing that, realized that I am resilient, I'm brave, and I am capable of doing anything I put my mind to.
So thank you so much for everyone who pulled that together. And if you're wondering, the handsome young man there is also, he's not just a a participant. He's from my bloodline. I was glad to be able to bring my son, who is second year at university this year. And he was really at one of those turning points of life where you're all, young in your younger 20s where you're kind of searching, and it was a great opportunity for him to come along with us as well. So I want to, also thank Maria and Kashifa. Again, that entire group grew such a great bond through that experience that, I think many years down into the future, we'll be attending each other's, personal family events and so on and so forth. And it was just such a phenomenal opportunity. And we look forward. We've already started our fundraising for Boundless 2021. We're being optimistic. The goal of Boundless is to go take a group every other year. With COVID, we're bracing to see how things will evolve. But we are optimistic that this cloud will pass, and we will resume some type of normalcy where we can still create these opportunities for youth into the future. And if it's not 2021, then we will push into 2022. But it's just been such a wonderful opportunity to animate here at the club, and we have so many youth that are interested in participating in the next leg and chapter of that story.
Thanks, Ucha. I think we're going to move to Mazuma Aftab now, our Manager of Stewardship and Sustainability, so she can honor our volunteers.
Hi, everyone. First of all, I am beaming with pride after seeing that video, and it's brought back so many memories. I didn't get to go, but absolutely phenomenal. So thank you, everyone, for putting that together. Just wanted to take a minute out of your, just to get your attention and just really genuinely thank all our volunteers who have played an integral part in making our organization's foundation even stronger. Taking time out of your day, knowing that everyone's lives, we're busy, things, are hectic, but choosing to take time out of your day and volunteering for an organization, a not-for-profit such as ours, it makes a huge difference. And I cannot stress enough how important it is to both take time out and volunteer for others, as well as gain that experience through volunteerism. So I just wanted to, especially on behalf of the entire organization, take this moment to appreciate all of the volunteers that you're seeing up on our screen. Wonderful individuals. Some of them I've met myself. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. We see you. We acknowledge you, and continue doing the fabulous work that you've been doing for our organization, and keep it up. And trust me, this volunteerism will take you, it gives you a sense of peace, and I hope you find that in ESBGC. So appreciate it. Thank you very much. Leading on from here, I would like to introduce Paul Ainsley, our champion for Ward 43. Just to giving him a bit of an introduction before he comes on. He has been a former club member and a strong advocate always as to what the club has been doing and other agencies in the community. So Paul Ainsley, our City of Toronto Councillor, please, I would love to have you acknowledge our long-term service volunteers. If you would like to, yeah, there you go, you're on mute. Thank you so much for being here, Paul.
Excellent. My pleasure. Thank you, Masuma. It's a great pleasure to be here. I want to thank everybody on all the hard work and dedication for making the Boys and Girls Club of East Scarborough such a wonderful place to be. Ucha, congratulations on your 3rd anniversary of being with the club. I know it will be, you'll be here for many years to come, and it's been exciting to see all the work that you've been doing. Just watching the slide deck on Ghana, what a wonderful experience for the children of the club to be able to undertake. I'm the city councilor for Ward 24, which takes in the Boys and Girls Club of East Scarborough. As Masuma said, I'm a former member. I still like to think of myself as a member of the club. I was born and raised just around the corner on Waldock Street, just across the street from Waldock, from the Eastview Public School on Waldock. I spent a lot of time at the Boys and Girls Club growing up. Many of my friends, it was always a safe place to go, full of fun times and activities. If you come to my office at City Hall, I have a wall of certificates and letters of appreciation that really mean a lot to me. And in the center of that wall is the volunteer plaque that I received from the Boys and Girls Club of East Scarborough. After attending the club, it was really a transition for me, a natural transition into becoming a volunteer. And one of the reasons is, to give back to your community. And I think of all the hard work and dedication and just that list of the volunteers, a list of volunteers that was just shown. And not only looking after the youth, but the volunteers on your board of directors. I want to congratulate them as well for all their hard work and dedication. I know many of them were members of the club in their youth. So I want to congratulate everyone. Thank you so much. And at this point, I would like to introduce the longest serving volunteers. Sorry, I just lost my script. Sorry.
It's also on the screen there, Paul, if you want to read from those that I think you should be good.
Thank you. And I just found my script. Sorry, one of the technical issues at my end. But it gives me great pleasure to acknowledge 4 of the club's long-term service volunteers. The first one is Kuna Celine Thankful. Kuna Celine is a resident of the Mornell Court community and recognized the need and felt compelled to support his community by volunteering with the Boys and Girls Club of East Scarborough's Early On program. For the past 10 years as a volunteer, he has assisted the staff with helping to keep the Mornell Early On Center a safe and welcoming environment for the children and families that visit the center on a weekly basis. Next, we have Sadi Lal, has volunteered with the club's Corvette Early On program for over 16 years. Her tireless efforts throughout the years have been valued by the families and the children visiting the center. Next, we have Karthika Namasivayam, who attended the club as a child. And as she grew up, Karthika remembered the impact of the program had on her, and she decided to volunteer with the program and help support the children and families that attend the program. For 16 years, Karthika has assisted staff in delivering educational programs to children under the age of 6 years and assists staff with the daily operations of the center. And we also have Rabina Hussein. Rabina has volunteered with the club's Corvette Road Early On program for over 20 years. Rabina's commitment to the work of the center has been a continued asset to the children and families that have participated in the programs, and she's been an integral support to the staff with ensuring the smooth operation of the center on a weekly basis. To all of you, I want to thank you for all your hard work and dedication. And I believe Ashley has a long-term volunteer recognition slideshow that she would like to show as well. So congratulations to everybody. Thank you so much for making the Boys and Girls Club of East Scarborough a wonderful place to be.
So the slideshow for the long-term service volunteers actually played, and thank you so much, Councillor Ainsley, for giving such great honor to our longtime service volunteers. We really appreciate it. And I know, Mazuma, you wanted to say a few words as well.
Yeah, just reiterating what Robin just said. Paul, thank you so much for being a part, taking the time out of your day today to be a part of our AGM. We greatly appreciate it. And thank you for individually acknowledging our 4 long-term service volunteers. I'd like to now introduce again our fabulous ED, Ucha, and she would like to speak about the club's new strategic plan.
Thank you. Thanks, Paul, so much. We really appreciate you taking the time out to be here with us tonight. So as I think I may have touched, you might have heard earlier that last year we embarked on the amazing task of developing our strategic direction for the next 5 years. It was such a wonderful experience. I want to thank Strategy Sense and the team that helped us walk almost I would say about 6 months. Like, we worked on the back end, working with myself and the board initially to look at how we wanted to pursue this process. And then spending 6 months with the various layers of our teams, our leadership team, with our staff, back with the leadership team, a retreat to figure out exactly what we needed to focus on and what our, what would be our strategy map for the next 5 years. And I'm so glad to share that this was such an inclusive process. We really got to Strategy Sense reached out to many of our funders, a lot of our families, communities, youth that we work with. It was just such an amazing experience to really unpack everything that we've been doing for the last couple of years and then explore what works best and how we're going to move forward with what we need to continue and strengthen and things that we needed to add. And so we ended up with 5 pillars. These are just guiding frameworks to help us explain and to help us to be accountable to all of the pieces that we'll be bringing over the next 5 years. And so the pillars are the strong voices. There's also a strong community, strong foundations. Sorry, I'm trying to make sure and keep it in order of our videos that will be coming. And our strong knowledge, okay, and strong together as well. So these are the different pieces that form the strategic plan. What we've done today is to put together a bit of a visual to help guide better understanding about these pillars. We will be uploading the finished strategic plan to the website shortly. As some of you may know, we are in the process of revamping the website, and it's going to launch hopefully within this quarter. And we'll be able to share all of those resources with you. Those of you who, like one of our, longstanding board members who's transitioned, but I know he's out there looking down on us. He's here at the AGM, who preferred to have it in hand. We'll be printing it as well. So there'll be notice sent out once there is a printed version that you can come pass by the club and pick up. Also, you'd be able to call, front desk and ask them to mail it to you. That's not a problem. Given, the situation that we're facing, that's no fee for us. So without further ado, I'm going to ask Ashley to queue up the videos. I believe we are starting, let me get back, with our strong voice video. And strong voice is really was, the focus is to enhance external communications to align with the club's identity and leverage data. So making sure that we are collecting data in an efficient way that helps us to give metrics and to be accountable to you, our membership. And be very specific about different metric pieces. So that was something that came up time and time again through our discussions, is how do we capture data in a way that is a win-win for the community and also a win for us here at the club, and also hold us accountable to the work that we're doing. Go ahead, Ashley.
My voice provides opportunity for children to play, learn, and grow. My voice helps support families through their early years journey.
My voice is a tool to educate and to advocate, to learn and to support. My voice is being a present and active participant in my community for inclusion and belonging.
My voice spreads upcoming programs and events that the Boys and Girls Club of East Scarborough offers.
Thanks, Ash.
Good evening. My voice helps to connect families to the programs and services that the Boys and Girls Club of East Scarborough offer, as well as resources and supports provided by other community organizations. This connection provides families with the opportunities to achieve their full potential in a safe and supportive environment, to be successful and active participants in the community, which in turn creates a healthy community to live in. Thank you.
My Voice teaches how to support your child's learning and development.
My Voice is used to help build the skills and opportunities for young people and newcomers to our community. My Voice is used to help build our community.
But together our voices are louder, together our voices are stronger.
Thanks to everyone who pulled that together. Such a profound and powerful piece. Next, I'd like to introduce our vignette that highlights our strong communities voice. Or sorry, voice. I've been picking that up from the last one. But our strong communities pillar. And when we were exploring what strong communities, what strong community meant, we thought of 3 themes. So continuously involving programs and services to meet the needs of local community, create inclusive space that's welcoming, safe, a safe space where for all children and youth and families are engaged in access to opportunities, and enhance advocacy to address community issues. So these are really our priorities. When we look at enabling a strong community, these are our primary goals through the programs and services that we'll be offering over the next five years. So what a wonderful video. Really, like I just, I personally have to share that I feel so blessed every day to get up and have to be in the opportunity to share and engage with such a phenomenal team. As you can see, COVID did not stop the club. We stayed open from the onset of COVID to this very day. We took a lot of our programs virtual, which you saw in the end part. I want to thank our licensed childcare for sharing some of those wonderful images. I hope there's no copyright infringement on that wonderful song that accompanied the videos. But as you can see, not just putting program together, but making sure they're engaging. There's sharing the videos of what you baked afterwards and posting them in our social media, and keeping the spirit of community up through even these challenging times this year. And of course, this was something that our amazing team, just has been doing and continues to do. As I said, in our strategic plan, we're being very intentional around how we can strengthen the work that we're doing and scale up the work as well. So again, much thanks to our strong community folks. The next video that's going to focus more on our third pillar, which is strong foundations. We want to ensure sustainable and diversified revenue. This is very important to stay relevant, especially in the sectors where we are now, potentially facing austerities or stronger austerities in the time ahead. We really want to make sure that we are diversifying how we build our financial foundation as an organization, align our organizational capacity and structures with service delivery. So making sure that we have the capacity always to deliver so that there's no gaps in service. There's, the intention to do work, but we want to make sure that when we have the intention to do the work, we have the strength and the capacity behind that so that it's a win-win again. That's really our underlying model, is always looking for that win-win. And cultivate engaged, skilled, sustainable human resources. So making sure that we are always training up our staff, having opportunities for learning, for professional and personal development, and ensuring that we are always attracting, the right staff for as we grow and expand across the community. And enhance our IT systems, which is super, we didn't know how relevant that would be, but it's super relevant in this day and time. And, we have found that there are some online platforms that have such a broad reach. I mean, I've heard from people as far as Weston Mount Dennis community that's taking part in our virtual classes, which would, they would just never have had access to taking part in local programming. So, there are some things that we will keep virtual so that we can continue access. So without further ado, Ashley, if you want to cue the foundation's vignette.
Hi, my name is Howard, and I am the Director of Operations here at East Scarborough Boys and Girls Club.
My name is Anna Jean McPherson. I'm the food service developer here at the East Scarborough Boys and Girls Club.
Hi, my name is Grace, and I'm a lead staff here at the East Scarborough Boys and Girls Club.
Hello, my name is Chantal, and I'm a youth program coordinator at the Boys and Girls Club.
Hi, my name is Ariel Dubicet-Boris, and I'm the lead programmer at the Boys and Girls Club of East Scarborough.
Club, we all walk different paths. We are of different cultures, ages, religions, and ethnic groups. But through working together as a team, supporting, understanding, and being compassionate, we built a strong foundation in order to support our community. Our foundation requires the use of many different components that come together to build a solid footing, so that we can walk and withstand the storms that will inevitably come. Many key elements are needed to build a strong foundation, and one of those components includes adapting to the ever-changing conditions of our community. Our values align with our duty to create a respectful and safe space for our staff, members, and the entire community. Creating an inclusive environment where we can walk through the club and see a reflection of ourselves is the foundation of what we do. With each step we take together at the East Scarborough Boys and Girls Club.
I hope a lot of funders are on today seeing all this wonderful work. That's such a wonderful vignette. Thank you. I don't know if anyone else noticed that they were walking against the arrow lines. My picky eye, but I want to thank all of you guys. That's our youth services team that would have put that that piece together. We really want as much as possible for you to get the feel for who we are and how we roll here at the club, and strong knowledge. So when we were exploring what does that mean to us, the two things that were at the core of this for our planning purposes was strengthen the knowledge management and sharing. So making sure that internally and even externally that we're evolving our sharing of knowledge, how to manage our knowledge internally so that everybody has access, everybody has opportunity, and how do we enhance data collection for evaluation. In order for us to really know if we're doing a good job, we need to be able to evaluate the different programs and services that we do on a regular basis so that we can really take a holistic view of how things are happening and make any changes or amendments as time goes on, or just continue to strengthen and build. And that's, I personally don't think, and I think it's the resolve of our leadership team, that we're not able to successfully do that if we don't have regular data and evaluation tools. So one of the great things is that we have our equity and belonging manager, who's really, I just want to say a shout out to her, Nanika, who's off on maternity leave. She led actually pulling together all of the strategic planning pieces, but she really pushed and evolved our annual review process, which really looks at us as a staff team, individually and as a collective, and how we evolve our work throughout the year. So Ashley, if you can cue the video for Strong Knowledge. Thank you so much again for that wonderful video. And like I said, I hope you're seeing that when we are talking about these pillars, they're not just external. We are looking at internal facing and also external facing. So when we talk about knowledge, we are looking at what we need to know to do our job to the best of our abilities and scale up our skill set base, but also how we produce and provide knowledge to the local community. And it's twofold for all of our pillars. And so I will go into the Stronger Together. And for Stronger Together internally, that meant for us to enhance our internal communication and alignment. So a lot of you might notice, we're working on the branding, we're working on the IT, we're really trying to have a look, touch, feel to our communications. I want to say a huge thank you to our stewardship and sustainability team. Masuma Aftab has been at the helm from the onset and launch of this new team within the club. And she's really, taken the ball and run with it. She and her team have really evolved, our images, the looks, really working on branding. It's really challenging to shift the culture into brand style and all of these, media kits and deck presentations that are all aligned the exact same way. So she has a great task and has been doing a phenomenal job. And I want to make sure that we acknowledge, those folks who have been leading this work. And so without further ado, I'll put it to Ashley to share our video. So I'll give a round of applause for that one. Really great, phenomenal. One of the things that I've noticed, and I've known because I grew up in this community, is that we have a lot of strong artists in the local community. And one of the things that Hamid mentioned is the purchase of a property in this year. And I will highlight that we started this process probably a year and a half ago, looking for the right space and getting a consultant to help us work through the different pieces. Glad to share that we were able to secure a property in the community that is going to focus strictly on youth, looking at a mandate for BIPOC youth, but we're looking at mentoring, arts, academics, and technology being the key focuses there. Arts, it's the community, the local community youth really need a space. We identified that there needed to be a space that really allowed them to evolve their skill, to showcase. This is a space where they can, have an art show, produce, digital art, produce visual art, have drop-ins that are going to nurture their skill and hopefully connect them with institutions that will help them to evolve their education so that they can be professionals in their own right, in their artistic background. So I want to, just watching that just reminded me so much of our goals around that space. And I thought it important to share with you. Our final pillar from the strategic plan is responsive and inclusive surfaces. And this was an area where we went back and forth as a leadership team. We evolved our equity pieces here at the club to be very, very intentional. And we have a manager now that focuses on equity and belonging. And we wanted to be sure that when we say inclusive, what that means for us as a club. We wanted, and the two things that came out of that is, core nuggets as we evolve, these inclusive services over the next couple years, is to ensure responsive programs and processes that consistently leverage innovative practices, and to enhance and integrate inclusive practices across the club. And so these are the foundation, but that can evolve and look at many different ways. And so I'll leave it to Ashley to share this last vignette with you all. So a huge round of applause to all of our teams. As you can see, all of our departments came together to put these vignettes together. And they're working overtime. Everybody, you know, because we are facing pandemic and running regular programs. So I just want to say a huge thank you. You know, in 2019, we embarked on the endeavor of collapsing two of our spaces at the rear of the club to build a commercial-sized kitchen, an edible classroom. And that has been such a tremendous resource. It was completed earlier this year, and it's just hit the, you know, literally hit the ground running. We're serving, you know, thousands of meals weekly that are being prepared there and sent out to various agencies to help local communities around food security initiatives. You know, in the onset of being in the second wave and facing what comes what may, as a result of that, we are in a good position to, you know, resume a lot of those services. Some of them have not stopped. We still continue to deliver groceries every week. We still continue to prepare, you know, meals at an amazing rate weekly that are going out to various institutions. And all of that began by planting the seed in late 2018 and, you know, really doing the groundwork in 2019. And I want to thank, you know, our funders, City of Toronto, United Way, Boys and Girls Club of Canada, PC Children's Charities for their support in bringing that vision into reality. We've been able to produce, I'm sure, over 1 million meals in this short period of time out of that one space, you know, as a result of the support from all of our, you know, our foundations and, you know, community supporters. So, you know, you can see in a nutshell how all of these pieces kind of yoke together to make one strong plan. Again, I want to say a huge thanks to Strategy Sense and the entire team that supported us in navigating this process. And without further ado, I'm going to hand this over to Chujor.
Hi, everyone. First, I'll take a minute to excuse myself. I forgot the camera was on. I was dancing a little bit to the last video, so you'll have to, if you caught that and it's being recorded, so it goes. Now, it's my pleasure to take a moment to go over some of the highlights from 2019. The club has been undergoing a lot of exciting changes over the last year to expand and enhance programs and services, just increasing our capacity to support this amazing community. One of the first things I'd like to introduce is the kitchen expansion. It's made it possible to move our second harvest kitchen on site and has been critical this year in enabling us to provide emergency food response program during COVID-19, just being that extra line of support for those who need it. We've got a great video, and I'd like to ask if Ashley doesn't mind to play that, please, the kitchen expansion video. That was a fantastic video, and I'm glad it gave a good representation of the great work that was done. You may not think about how exciting a kitchen expansion can be, but when you think about the significant issue of food security in a lot of communities, I'm amazed to see the amount of progress that's been done there to enable us to do more to help the community in that regard. Now, the next thing I'd like to talk about from this list of highlights that we got here is the Get in the Game program. Now, this is a physical program to support young children in their motor development. And as someone like me who works really hard to keep fitness and health as an active part of my life, I think this is an amazing thing that we're doing here. We've got a great video to show you if, Ashley, you don't mind showing it to everybody.
Are you ready? Ready? Are you ready, my friend? Owen? Here comes, it's gonna be over. Okay, under, Owen. Good.
Yes.
Henry, grab it. Over. Good. Chloe, under. Under. Good. Hayden, over. Over. Good. Zoya, under. Going under. Good. Hans. Oh, Hans. Hans, get it. Over. Over. Good. Kaleo, under. Good. Ethan. Over. Right, Ethan. Over to Jen.
Yay!
Good job. You did it.
That was a great video and entirely too much cuteness to handle. I think it's a beautiful thing that we are so actively involved in getting kids, helping kids with their motor development and implanting the seed of fitness and health as a part of their lives. I think that's crucial right now. The next thing I'd like to talk about is the childcare expansion. This has increased the number of childcare spaces in the community, especially the new infant toddler spaces at the East Side Club Child Care Center. We've got another great video that we can show you about this.
So seeing that there's no sound, I'll just animate that this site is actually at our main site. We are now officially giving services from cradle to career. So we have infant care now at our main site at 100 Galloway. We have capacity for 5 infants and a toddler room that's been redesigned so we can have 10 toddlers at one time. This is allowing us to really have seamless service so that we can stay with our families, our children, as they grow throughout the years, and they can go through our infant services all the way up to youth and job development mentoring. And I think it's so important, and the community has expressed how important it is to them to have continual service with people that they trust, and the local supports that we've been able to offer. So we're super excited to have this space be complete. It's been, I think I wrote the first grant my first year, so it's been about a year, 2 years in the making, but we finally got the occupancy papers earlier I would say in the spring, and it's so exciting every day to come to work and see the little ones in those rooms. It just gives you hope for the future. So I want to thank everyone, our consultants on the kitchen, Sharon Shelton with Imperial Consulting, who did a phenomenal job navigating us through all of the nuances of developing the commercial kitchen site. Our architect, Michael, and it's Markham High Tech that did the work for us. We want to also acknowledge our contractors, that's contracting, that really saw the project through from beginning to end and pulled the strong arm when we needed folks to pull their boots up and get everything wrapped up. So I just wanted to acknowledge that. Go ahead, Tudor.
Now, there's a slight chance that the music didn't play to stop my incessant dancing and nodding, and I can accept that. I'll take ownership of that. I'm still getting used to Zoom life, so you'll have to excuse me, but it was a fantastic video showing the great work that's been done, as Ucha said. Now, the club's youth services has been very busy this last year. The new Journey program was introduced to focus on self-care, mental health, and mentorship between staff and youth. Participants of this program went on to pursue studies in addictions and mental health at Centennial College, construction at George Brown College, and journalism at Centennial College. A youth podcast to discuss topics that matter to them was established by our youth members and supported by our communications staff. Our Beyond the 40 youth volunteers and Youth Council supported our Brunch with Santa's Elves initiative during the holidays. And also, our youth program is rapidly growing, and so we are in the process of renovating a building in the community to house our youth programs and services. This building will also be the new home of our Early On Child and Family Center. Stay tuned for more information and updates about the additional site and all the exciting changes. And now I'd like to take it back to our amazing ED, Ucha, to present the longtime staff service recognitions.
Yeah, I've been talking, but nobody's hearing me. Thank you again, Tudor. And thanks to everybody who brought all of those visions into fruition over the last couple of years. I'm aware of the time, so I'm going to really try and tighten this up, but we really want to make sure and acknowledge, especially in a year like this, our milestones for staff. So we have 4 staff that have made amazing milestones. So I'll start with Onyx Duggan. She's hardworking, loyal, diligent, driven are the few words that come to mind when you think of Onyx. Her brilliant expertise and dedication over the last 5 years to youth and the community engagement and collaboration and partnership building has helped us to achieve great success at the club. Onyx, thank you for your commitment and your passion to the work that we do. Here's to 5 more years, maybe 10, as we continue to make a difference in the lives of our local youth. Thanks so much, Onyx, for the work that you do. Amina Goward, 5 years. At the time just flies by. Amina started working out at the club in the school age program. She then transferred to the East Scarborough Child Care Center to become an RECE in the toddler room. Amina sits on the Festival of Lights Committee and is a reliable member of the team. Her calm demeanor and patience with young children that she works with is inspirational to all. As a lead staff, Amina is responsive to the needs of her colleagues and is ready to support families in any way that she can. Congratulations, Amina, and we look forward to continuing our work together. Roxanne Groh, 5 years. Roxanne is a member of our United Way campaign committee. She also is technologically savvy, you can tell I'm not, and is willing to help with projects whenever she can, and this is so true. I've seen it up front. Roxanne is very meticulous about her program planning and implementation, accessing resources and encouraging the children in her care to be courteous and to explore their environment. Roxanne is a lead staff working with the kindergarten team at our St. Brendan site. 10 years of service. So we have two phenomenal staff that are making their 10 years with the club. Kareem Milson, 10 years, better known and lovingly known as Coach. Kareem, throughout the 10 years, your talents, efforts, commitment to serve the youth in our community has helped with our growth as an organization. You have helped everyone to the true meaning of you exhibit the true meaning of dedication and loyalty by going above and beyond the call of duty every time. Your motivation, encouragement, upliftment of youth over the past 10 years has been an essential part of our organization's journey and success. Thank you, Kareem. And may you continue to inspire youth for many years to come with the club. Yvonne Prince, 10 years, wow. Throughout her time at the club, Yonette, and I see and love to see Yonette every day at our main site. Yonette has been a member of the Black History and Holiday Help Committees. She has worked at several sites with different age groups, but has worked the closest with our school age program. She has developed warm and supportive relationships with families, and is admired by her colleagues for her flexibility and commitment to providing fun and engagement experiences for the children in her care. Yonette is currently a lead staff and has recently decided to work in our new infant program, where her expertise and dedication will surely be an asset. So I want to say again, a huge thanks. You know, the time goes by so quick when we're doing this work together. Before you blink, 5 years, you blink again, it's 10 years. But we want to make sure every year as we do that we honor these milestones. You know, they do not go unnoticed. We sincerely appreciate the efforts of everybody who has made their milestones this year and in years gone by. So I definitely want to say congratulations to all of you. And that's it, folks. I want to say thank you to everyone who's come out today. It's been a different, you know, we usually have so much, you know, food and different things happening, but I feel that through the videos, you really got a sense of what's happening here at the club. We definitely will share some of these vignettes through our social media in the time ahead. I want to thank you all for taking the time to stay on with us a bit longer. I saw 1.48 people or participants, which we know there's households of clusters of families sitting at the portal looking. We love all of you. We look forward to serving you in the time ahead. And again, thank you so much. I want to thank my phenomenal team from our very front line all the way up to our leadership team. Everybody has skin in the game around making sure that we're doing the best to service the local community. And we want to say thank you to all of you for your patience and for your support. There's not been an event that we had where the community didn't show up and show their support. And we look forward to continuing and building on this relationship. I want to say again, thank you to Councillor Paul Ainsley for taking the time, not just to present, but being with us for the entire show. So thank you so much, Paul. You've been such a champion for us, and we look to continue building on our relationship. Thank you to all of our board members who came out today, and Hamid Rizvi, aka Ganesh, who actually has been such a supportive means of support for us in leading our IT strategy as a board member. It's been an amazing journey. He has usually a lot to say, but we were given the script. So we definitely will actually have him feature the highlights of NAVA Cup through our social media. So actually we'll put that together, and he's been such an amazing gift to the club over the years, helping us to get tech and computers out, and what a time, you know, that we're in, that's going to benefit a lot, you know, continues to benefit so many children. So thank you so much, Ganesh. Thank you to Robin and Ashley again. I want to thank all of you for your time, and we look forward to continuing to serve you. Take care. Sorry, as my eyes are, my allergies, it's not cool.
Thank you. Stay safe and well, everyone, and happy Thanksgiving.
Yes, happy long weekend, everyone. Harvest weekend to those.
Thank you, everyone.
All right, take care.